Okay, so I can hear the game. It stuttered. Just for a second. I can't hear us. I can't hear myself, so to speak. No? There I am. This is just... I don't know. It's dumb. I don't know why.
You'll probably figure it out. So everything's plugged in the way it was Wednesday, right? The mic.
No, the way that it was is the way that it was plugged in. And then I replugged things.
Okay.
How do you think I get Navarre to join?
Well, the same way you get everyone to join, I think you just talk to him with Mark. You should make a save state before you do anything.
Oopsie. I didn't make a save state. This is the save state, by the way.
What?
I opened it up and it was the save state. I didn't... It wasn't reset. It was technically open.
Okay.
You! This Agma will go with Marp. Whoops. And
She can fly over the mountains. She might be able to talk to him.
well, there's Archer, specifically next to the mountains.
Then go to the left. He can't cross the mountains.
Oh, hang on. I'm gonna send some people Mart's way. I don't want to send them in there bare bones. I assume this man will be helpful.
Well, they're already on your side, so you don't have to worry about them.
Yeah. I'm just thinking... Gordon's an archer. That's Yeah, Castor. It's a hunter. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to send...
Send the big boys left, I guess.
all the big boys left. And I will send Abel.
Why?
Because
Okay.
I will send Jagan and Sheeta that way, as well as the archers, I think. And then, I guess that's it. How far away are they? Pretty far. I'll just send people out.
Maybe visit some of the houses.
No, there are mercenaries about. They can fell you in one blow. I think... So I played this for exactly one map. Should I turn us on to double speed as well?
It's up to you. I don't know anything about it. And I don't care.
Well, the CPUs take a long time if they're not on double speed, so... That's what I learned from getting to play this myself for exactly one map.
Did seem to take a while last time around.
Compute. I feel bad kidding. It's a mistake.
Oh,
Okay.
the CPU's just mashing through. They might die.
Oh, jeez. This is wild. Whoa. So, this little friend here got experience just for not dying.
What you got to set up right now, Christopher? Looks like they're gonna die. You gonna have them run away?
Yeah? This one can't go that far. Or they're just not like... It's just something weird with the movement. I mean, I don't see a situation in which I can take all of those enemies at the same time. Like, there's no way. Marth can't even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Marth can't even really get close to Navarre to talk to him. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
They're not gonna all be able to attack, Christopher. The guys in the back, because it's a narrow path, they won't be able to line up correctly. So as long as you have someone who can take hits up out front, they should only be able to attack like once or twice. That's not gonna be like 6 guys ganging up on you. Like maybe if Marth was there, or the guy on the horse. Someone who could take hits.
I think it might be dependent. I will take my chances with Abel out in front, since he has the only good defense amongst the team that I brought. Enemy dog can't go.
Why would you put him there?
I would put him here to attack.
But then 3 enemies can attack him.
What makes you? What make? Oh, the archer.
Can they not attack diagonally?
No.
Then it doesn't matter. Or, well, 2 enemies can attack him there. Otherwise, 1 would be able to. If he were, like, in between a mountain and a hill. But it doesn't matter.
He's a soothsayer. Soothsayer. Abel leveled up. we lost Kane in a situation I don't think we could have gotten him back in. It depends on if Navarre moves. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Can he jump over your guys?
No, you can't move through units.
Then he'll stay there.
And now we will very oh no.
Put Caster on that house, maybe. I don't think they can go over hills, so he'll be able to like shoot him.
They can't
come
because,
near
I
him.
mean, this guy up front, he's gonna get him.
Not that house. Up. The house in between the hills and the mountain.
Your skill and you'll have a better chance at landing critical hits. Speed makes it easier to dodge attacks. And then Jagan will go out in front because he can take a hit. Hunters are stronger attackers than archers, but they're weaker in defense. They should avoid close range combat. Good to know. And Sheeta, you will come this way. Eesh. Nice. Follow up. Good job, Jaden. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, he dodged. Yeah, the archer shot him.
So maybe Abel retreats?
Yeah. This is going to be risky because I'm going to have Abel retreat. I'm going to have Marth talk to Navarre. And
Well, once you talk to Navarre, he'll be on your side.
Well, yes, but then Marth is right in front of 3 enemies.
But 3 enemies can't attack. The guy... Just do it, Christopher. It'll work out.
What?
Maybe Sita has to talk to him?
Why? What? Okay.
Try attacking him with Marth.
You know what?
And then if you really want him, we can start over.
Well, he dodged. I don't get it. I mean,
I think Sita has to talk to him.
this is an old as hell game because it didn't. Yeah, of course. There are.
Someone who's not Marth has to talk to him. Just like Sita had to talk to Castor. Maybe one of them has to talk to him? I don't know.
But we have the benefit of having essentially the save state and the rewind thing. In the past, in the actual game, you would just make that mistake.
Well, that's part of the fun, Christopher. That's how games work. You weren't trying to get through them as fast as possible to move on to the next ones. You bought a game and then you spent your time playing it.
But in this game, you don't get to take back a decision. If your character dies, they die.
Then you start the game over.
All the way?
Or you have save files. And you just quit and do it over again until you do it
This game has 2 save files.
Right, so you just quit it, then do it over again if you messed up.
Where are my high defense units? Okay, so that's what that does. I was hoping it would give me stats. And
maybe just send everyone that way.
Does Bird and Curd? No, they have pretty crappy defense. Surprising. Is that the move? Should I just have everybody move as a unit and then just accept the slog later on?
Maybe.
This game is stupid.
I don't think so.
I'm turning on double speed. Woo!
Is this actually going to be faster, Christopher?
I like what happened to the music.
Or are you going to be wasting time? I don't see how that could be helpful unless you were like a Fire Emblem master. And you knew every move you needed to make. And where everyone would be.
I guess so. I'm sure that'll create a speedrunning category. Whoops, nope.
You can move them too.
Yes, I will get them out of harm's way.
I wonder if one of them has to talk to Navarre.
Well, then I hope Navarre leads the charge, and so that I can just talk to him. Talk to me, Navarre. Should I put him in the dune?
Can you actually go there? He can't move many spaces, can he?
Julian, you can move 7, but moving onto the dune would take like 2 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or something. I mean, he can do it, but he can't move after, so it takes a lot of movement.
Does it give him a high evasion?
I don't know, because I can't like click on these things. I would have to remember or know.
It should give him some defense buff.
Okay, so Navarre is out at front.
That's what I figured. And the archer moved this time too. So take your pick, Christopher. Have someone try and talk to him. No?
Nope.
Try Lena. She can't make it. Try Sita. Yeah.
Why has a swordsman of your worth fallen in with thieves? How was I supposed to know that Seda knew him? I have no business with women or children. Help us put a stop to this pointless fighting. If you will not, then I tell you, do your worst. I am ready. I vowed never to turn a blade on a woman.
He was gonna... Oh, maybe Lena would have worked too.
If you would risk your life to convince me, I suppose I have no choice. I will join you.
So maybe it just had to be a woman character.
Okay.
You want to have him attack?
I don't know, because then I'm putting him in the fire of the beam. But also they're blocked off. Work. And Soothsayer counter, and he miss. And Julian take second hit. And now Navarre, you will kill. Whoops. There we go. Navarre got that 40 XP. Whoop. Should I move people in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think even the D-pad on this Pro Controller is a little messed up.
Probably. D-pad on most Nintendo stuff is ruined. These guys have 6. How are you doing, Gregory? Fine, I guess. Nothing really going on. I was a little tired because I was doing yard work today.
Do you want to talk about anything that you saw at the Game Awards last night?
Well, I kind of wanted to talk about the Game Awards, but I don't know.
Might as well. At least when there's nothing happening, when I have to just, like, keep moving.
Well, there's never anything happening in this game.
You got to see Vin Diesel last night.
I did.
In video game form.
Yeah. People were saying that might be the worst video game trailer in a long time.
Why would they say that?
Because it was pretty awful.
I don't agree.
The animation was janky. The blood splatter was kind of cartoony. I liked it a lot, and it fits the game that it's advertising, because Ark is kind of one of those garbage games. It's just jank. I think it was an early access game that never made it. Or maybe... no, I don't know. It never looked like it wasn't early access if they ever released it and they were like, it's done.
Yeah.
Lots of people like it, though. Kind of screwed yourself, didn't you?
Yeah. What turn was on this one? First. Navarre will kill. Anyways. Yeah, I feel like... nice, critical. I feel like Ark was just kind of just like that. It's basically like...
You've never played it.
I've never played it, but when I saw it, I was like, that's an interesting concept.
I don't think it's an interesting concept. It's, what is it like? It's like a survival crafting game. And it was... I'm trying to remember how long after stuff like Minecraft and DayZ it came out, because I think it's actually fairly old. It was early access for a long time, I think. And like I said, I don't know too much about it. They might have been like it's done some time ago, but it's that kind of game. I think they're an indie studio. They use 3D elements. I don't know. People who like it, like it. I guess I can kind of see the appeal.
Owie. Well, I think that trailer looked good, even with all of its really strange problems. And
it was really long.
Yeah, it was.
It just kept going. I thought that was actually kind of comical. I kept expecting it to end, but then they had like 7 twists and reveals in the trailer. Starting with Vin Diesel, yeah. It was pretty cool.
Whee! I like Sephiroth. I'm glad Sephiroth is in Smash, even though I had never once in my life thought, man, Sephiroth's a character who deserves to be in Smash. It's just sort of something that happened, and I'm like, okay, I'm all in on this.
I mean, looking back on it, it was probably destined to happen once Cloud got in. Because why wouldn't it? Sephiroth is probably even more popular than him. It might have only been a matter of time. Except this has happened pretty late. It was cool. That was one of the best parts of the night. The best reveal. I'm trying to remember what they ended on, but I don't think it was that good.
I don't remember either. They did not save the best reveal for last. I think because they had a lot of faith in people staying to hear Game of the Year. And I think that's definitely the case. People were very interested to see what would win Game of the Year. Even though we could kind of predict it based on who votes in the Game Awards.
Sucked that Ghost of Tsushima didn't win anything, I don't think.
It won Best Art Direction.
Oh, yeah.
Which is strange considering in that category was a game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which was created entirely for the art.
I don't know what the category art direction is about.
I guess I don't understand it either. I would just figure the way that they, I don't know, crafted it, the way that they decided to make the game look, and the use of and the style, I guess.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima was a beautiful game. And it had a lot of Japanese art and relics in it and all that jazz. So I could see it winning that. Or it was nominated for Game of the Year and they're like, stuff nominated for Game of the Year has to win something.
Yeah, you would think. Doom Eternal didn't win anything.
That's true.
It's kind of sad. Even though I haven't played it, I have played the first Doom, and people say that Doom Eternal improved upon that game in all ways, and if that's the case, then hoo boy, that's a good game.
Probably is a good game. The problem is it probably wasn't super good in any one thing that it could have won over any of the other games. Maybe the soundtrack, but
even in soundtrack, it lost to Final Fantasy VII.
That's what I was gonna say. Final Fantasy VII's soundtrack is better than Doom Eternal's, though. And Doom Eternal has a great soundtrack. Or the Doom games usually do. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just so that they can put stuff on the box and all that. Or to give the studios some, what do you call it? They're more for, like, marketing and things like that.
Yeah. Because the reality is, I had never watched the Game Awards before. And in fact, I never cared what won Game of the Year or what won anything. The only reason I was even mad about Ghost of Tsushima losing is just that I watched the Game Awards. And then the thing that I wanted to win didn't win. And that's it. I would otherwise not care if I hadn't seen it.
I've watched the last few Game Awards, probably since 2013 or 2011. I've watched them every year. This was the best one so far. Or maybe that can't be true. How long has the Game Awards been going on?
I don't remember.
I just started watching one year and I've watched every year since, but I don't remember when I started. I feel like I was in high school, but I don't even remember. A lot of the years and stuff like that blur together now. So it might not have even been a thing when I was in high school. No, it should have, right?
It should have. Because I remember turning on Spike TV once, and it was the Game Awards.
But,
And I was young because I have a specific memory where Jack Black came on stage at, I believe it would have been Best Performance. His performance in that game where he was he was like a guitar person, and it was that. Do you remember that game? Jack Black played a character who beat up demons with his guitar.
I do remember the game. I don't remember the name. Something like Heavy Metal.
It's something. So I remember him coming on stage for that and swearing, And then our grandmother got upset that I was watching that and I had to turn it off. So I was young to be watching that.
That sounds like a fake memory, Christopher.
I don't think it was fake.
In fact, I know it's fake because the Game Awards started in 2014. You were in high school.
Well, then I definitely saw something else then. Because that's not a fake memory. It was something else. Even if it wasn't the Game Awards, something happened.
If it was something else, it is a fake memory because you were watching the Game Awards when that happened. You probably did get in trouble for watching something with swearing on TV, but it probably wasn't the Game Awards. It might have. If it was on Spike TV, it was probably like a G4 or something like that.
It might have been G4 then.
Like a G4 convention.
Yeah.
Or E3. You're probably watching E3 or something like that.
It couldn't have been E3. They wouldn't let Jack Black come on stage for that.
The current Game Awards, because there have been other Game Award shows, I think, but like the ones that have been going on since like 2014 is like the new one. So I was fairly close. 2014 is when I started watching. I was never really into G4. I know you were, so I'm thinking that's what it is. Is that it was like some G4 convention or awards show or something like that?
Probably.
That you were watching. Because you used to watch that all the time as a kid.
It's the only thing I can think of, so...
This guy hasn't been able to land a hit. Why you keep attacking with him?
Because I have to get this archer. And the thing is...
Then attack with Marth! You're just wasting this guy's this turn.
It's not gonna work either.
Then shoot him with Gordon.
They both have horrible accuracy because this guy is on a mountain.
Yeah. Do you want to finish this game?
No.
Then this will probably be the last stream of Fire Emblem, which is cool with me.
Then what do we do next week?
Let's try out something else. We just try out stuff, and then if we really like it, we'll finish it. Let's try... You want to try Skyrim? That can be a one-off.
Okay. As long as it's a one-off.
You don't want to play the whole of Skyrim?
You know how
I could probably finish it in one stream.
You know how to do the things?
Oh, the speedrunning? No.
Then how can you finish it in one stream?
That's true. Oh, I don't know. What do you consider finishing?
Beating the main story.
Mm.
Like, what would you mean by finishing?
I guess maybe. Maybe, yeah. Maybe, yeah, that was a little ambitious of me. I could probably finish them in less streams than you think it would take, though. Like, we wouldn't be... I don't think we'd have to play for, like, months on end. I could probably do it in a few weeks. Like, legit, but... Maybe I could speedrun. I don't know. It wouldn't look as cool as, like, someone who did it tons of times before. I knew it exactly. I'd have to, like... try and remember the stuff, and then I wouldn't really have much to say.
Yeah, and besides, I mean, I don't know, because I don't know how, if at all, they fixed some of the glitches in the console ports, because we don't have the PC version of the game, and the PC version is definitely the most broken.
We have it on Switch, and that might be it. We should have it on Xbox One or 360, something like that. Nah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We can play something else. You want to play Mario 64?
Why?
Because I like that game.
Okay.
I know you don't. Because you're a little bitch.
I'm not a little bitch. Mario's a little bitch. And he doesn't do what I want him to do.
Yeah, is Mario always falling down?
Yeah.
Slipping and sliding?
Yeah.
Can't stop on a dime?
Yes. That's why I hate him.
Do you hate him, Christopher, or do you hate the man that you are?
He's a drunkard. All he only knows how to slur his words. He can't speak real Italian. He also just stumbles everywhere, slip sliding all over the place.
That warp staff is pretty handy. You should just warp Marth like way ahead. Also, you should have probably been moving Lena instead of not at all.
Don't judge.
Move that guy first. Oh, whatever.
Can she warp to any point? That's impressive.
Yeah, it's an amazing item. You've probably already wasted a few of them.
So?
It doesn't matter. We're not gonna complete the game or anything like that. You might beat it on your own time. I don't know.
I will. I've fallen down the hole again, Gregory.
What does that mean? You're back into Fire Emblem?
Yeah. I've been playing Awakening, and I've been playing that for 50 hours. Still got 6 or 7 chapters left in the game. And it just reminds me of other things. It reminds me of things that I like about Fates, even though I ultimately hate those games. It reminds me of the few things that I like, and as such, I'm going to end up playing one of those games after I beat Awakening. And then I'm going to want to play Echoes, because I never finished that one. I want to play and actually finish that one. And then I'm going to be like, well, I'm already down the path, and then I'm going to play Three Houses again. I'm going to play Golden Deer, which is the one playthrough I've never done.
Golden Deer is what I did naturally, originally.
Is it funny?
Yeah, I think it's the best house. I guess that might be controversial in Fire Emblem circles. Their leader is the best. He's the least of a chode out of them. Because, what's-her-face is standard, like, class president in an anime character, edgelord.
Standard?
And,
Bro, she wants to destroy the world.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
No, it's not.
That's going beyond.
You're just a cum-burning. Edgelord is pretty okay, I guess. What's his face? The blonde guy, Dimitri. I think he gets cool after the time skip. I've never seen it.
Because he loses his freaking mind.
And actually, I think he's cool even before that, because he's kind of the straight edge guy turned, like, Viking meanie is kind of cool. But the pretty boy guy is my favorite. Just because he's got the best personality and attitude out of the bunch, I think.
But he doesn't care about anything.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
I don't care about anything either. I don't care about the fake religion in Fire Emblem. Or the Empire. And I like his housemates. He's got the best housemates. He's got Hilda. Who else does he have?
Lysithea, Marianne, Raphael.
Yes.
He's
got all the best ones. So you should pick Golden Deer and then you should lure over the other characters you like Petra, was what I would do. Oh, to Golden Deer. It's the best base house, I think. But I never liked luring people over, because then it just feels uneven.
I mean, it is. Because then...
You can have it to where the only people left in the other two houses are the house leaders and their buddy.
Their best friend.
Which for Dimitri is the big guy, and then for Edgelord is, I think, the creepy guy.
The straight up looking evil motherfucker.
Uh-huh. They're your standard right-hand guys for each character.
But for Claude, it's only if you pick Black Eagles and then stay the red route at the Change of Fates. Because if you select to not stay with Edelgard, then you can recruit Hilda, and then you can steal her away from Claude. And you can do that anyways in the blue one. So it's an interesting piece. Claude doesn't have anyone who's diehard loyal to him, yet in a certain instance.
Makes sense. He has the weirdest, I don't know what you call them, like first mates? Second in commands? Whatever, Hilda?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem like she's that kind of character. With the big guy, you can see how he's like Dimitri's right-hand guy. He's like his protector, bodyguard kind of character. His Chewie.
Mm-hmm.
With Edgelord, you've got her greasy, evil kind of whisper in your ear right-hand man. I don't know that he's actually like that though, but you can see the archetype that he is. For Clyde Frog, he has Hilda, who is not like you wouldn't think of as like a leader character at all.
She's really not, and I think the only connection is just that she and Claude go way back, and she's mostly loyal to him.
She's really strong, though. And I like Hilda, which is also part of why I picked Golden Deer. Because I think she's my favorite character. Definitely the one I use the most. But that kind of makes sense, because, like, Edgelord is from the Empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she has kind of, like, this air about her. So does Dimitri. He's, like, the prince or something. So they're kind of, like, royals. And so they have, like, royal air about them, and those kind of characters revolve around them. But Clyde Frog is like the grandson of, I think it's like a republic or a democratically elected, or it's like a confederacy.
Yeah, it's like a collection of lords.
So he doesn't even really like. It's possible for them to kind of not fall under him.
Yeah,
because if they wanted to follow someone else, they just would. Like a different, I don't want to call them a confederacy, but that's kind of what they are, I think.
Well, because they're a collection. They don't
call them a union.
Yeah, they don't allow one person, but even they do allow one person at the top. They have the one house, Clyde Frog's house, is like he's next in line to be the overarching ruler of that nation. Because the one house does rule over the others.
Yeah. So in that sense, well, that's why he's so important. Is because he's from that lineage and that royal house. But you could foresee where, like, it's possible they could just switch to a different house. I don't know if you know what I mean.
No, I get it.
Because it's like a united federation of kingdoms and republics and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's no need for them to feel loyal to Clyde Frog.
But he is like a natural politician, and you can see that in his character throughout the story, I think. Which is why they follow him later. I don't know, I just think he's the best. Out of the three main characters that you can choose from. And I like his housemates the best. And they have the best attitude. And they have an interesting setup. That they're a union of different states rather than like an empire or a kingdom.
It is very interesting.
I really don't like the Pope character.
The hot Pope?
The holier than thou, yeah. Holier than thou character. She is very good looking. And tall.
I think... Oh, why'd you do that?
He just ran up and then ran away.
Worked. That was your crit. I think that the Archbishop is just like, I don't know, because it really depends on what you do in the game. She either shows herself to be actually like not trying to do evil things, even just like sort of. Well, I don't know. I guess that's the reality of the entire story. It's completely based on perspective, and there's not technically a right or a wrong in basically any playthrough.
If you choose her side, she's right. If you don't choose her side, she's wrong.
Yeah.
It's usually how it be. Why don't you... Hey. Oh, it's too late.
Why?
I was gonna say you should just warp staff someone into like the middle of a bunch of enemies real quick, since we're not gonna complete this anyways.
Okay.
But do it on the next turn.
I can do that to Gordon.
That's what I was thinking.
I almost didn't want to do this stream today. I was going to say, I want to take a break, I want to sleep. But, I'm not, no stream Christmas week. No streams at all.
Not Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday?
Yeah. A, Friday is Christmas. B, I would just like to take the Wednesday before Christmas off. C, I've worked it out so that the last podcast of this year is episode 25, and it will come out the week of Christmas.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's going to be a very special episode, and I'm actually going to put things together to like essentially give it a production value and like do something special.
That would be really cool, Christopher.
I don't want to reveal the full details just yet, but we're giving out awards.
Guys, I don't want to get your hopes up.
We're gonna do an award show, and
but there might be a special guest named Johnny Silverhand in the flesh. I don't want you to get your hopes up, but I think we got him.
I mean, that's the reality of the situation. We didn't call him. We haven't asked just yet, and we don't have any money to pay him. But I'm not gonna say if he said yes. He's not.
There's still a good chance he just shows up anyways out of the blue.
There's a possibility. Hey, if I ask, who's to say he wouldn't?
Did you hear about Cyberpunk?
That it's like actually good?
Oh, it's actually good?
Oh, Julian died.
Bye-bye, Julian. We'll keep Lena around in your name. She's our property now.
I like Lena's little sprite when she walks.
She's cool. Send him down to the right, yeah. Next to those guys. Bye-bye, Gordon. You've been banished.
You've doomed me, woman.
I know, and Drow was like, holy shit. I'm the only one who saw that. He doesn't say anything, because he knows it could happen to him.
Yes. Come on, Navarre. Nice.
Cool.
He was holding a mend.
Oh, it's a man's staff. That's the guy who had it. So now you could equip it to what's-her-face for the next chapter.
The bandits left 15,000 gold in the castle's vaults. We can use this money to supply ourselves with equipment. Let's just forget the fact that it's stolen money.
Also, you didn't have to kill everybody.
Yeah. That's also something I found out, because it just occurred to me. There was one guy left and was like, do I have to fight him?
You could just take the castle.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like chess. It actually doesn't matter how many guys are left, huh?
Would you like to continue playing? I guess.
What time is it?
It's 3.
That's like, yeah, why not?
Okay.
We usually go till 4. We'll just screw around.
Let's get everyone killed.
Well, we could probably do that way ahead of schedule, so maybe we could try a little bit. But we won't, overthink it.
Might hopes to join his forces with Aurelis' army, but first he will have to rout the foes blocking his path.
Foreboding sounds of whorehouses begin to drift toward Marth's army. From the direction of the what? The Lee?
Maybe that was a mistranslation? This game was never officially translated, it just sorta happened overnight.
From the direction... And he just... Even the narrator doesn't give a shit about this story.
I'm looking to see if any of these people have faces.
I love the water sprites. It really makes it feel like, oh my gosh, it's like really shining down, but... I don't know. I remember lakes looking like that when I was a kid. All bright and shit.
Yeah. How about this friendly guy? Nope.
You're trying to find, guys you can talk to?
Yeah.
Maybe that mage?
Nope.
No. I guess this is just a pretty straightforward one, I guess.
Ben Theon.
Head straight to the castle. Mathis.
What?
That guy you can probably talk to. He's the only Macedon with a name. Yeah,
he has a portrait.
So someone could probably talk to that guy. You want to head straight to the castle?
Let's go for it.
Let's storm the castle.
We're heading out.
This game is really interesting because it looks like you get to keep everyone you run into. You don't have to have a specific number of people, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, if you had been able to keep everyone alive, they would just be here, right? Because Lena's here. Those guys you got earlier from the one king's army are with you.
Yeah.
Ogma and his brutes. Sadly, Cain has passed away, and Julian too.
Yes, well.
But I think they would be here if we kept them. And Castor?
And everybody has a spot. Like, I don't get to place characters down. They have a spot where they are.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if you could have, like, every character at some point in the game. And they just didn't think about that in the first one.
Well, with this specific version, I do have the option to take back turns and save everyone. In the original, I think they definitely would have felt there's no way you can get out with at least a few people dying.
You do get, like, tons of characters every level, it feels like. Well, not tons of characters, but there are tons of characters in the game, and you're pretty well taken care of. Whereas in, like, Awakening, I think they assume that most people are not gonna start on Classic. And so they're a little more conservative with handing out the characters.
Yeah. But then when you are on Casual, then the characters just keep stacking.
Well, then you just keep the ones you like. Like Tharja.
Is that how you pronounce her name?
I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it.
So, her Japanese name is Salia, and it's spelled like Sally A, Salia, and it's pronounced Sadia or something.
Sadia?
Yeah. So at least in my mind, if I were translating it, and I mean it doesn't particularly translate, I mean it goes from Salia to Tharja.
It's an Aerith situation?
Aerith, like, for whatever reason.
Instead of STH? And instead of LR, I don't know. This is a weird translation.
To me, in my head, I say Tharia.
Thalia?
But I don't actually...
It might be Thalia, but they translated it weird. I like Tharja because it sounds a mystical foreign name. And it's unique. And I like the character, so... Because I like the character, I think I opened up to the name. Even though it is, I don't know, weird. Tharja. Or Tharya. Yeah, it might be Tharya.
Yeah, who knows? I guess I don't think the developers have ever spoken on that. And if they would use her Japanese name.
Which you said is Salia.
Yeah.
It might be that they say it with a Japanese accent. And the... what you call it? Who are those people that bring stuff over, translate it, and all that?
Localizers?
Localization team. Made that decision. To try to be more accurate to the way they would say it. Rather than how it would be spelled. Or said in a different dialect.
Like when people online tried to call Beerus Bills.
Yes, which is retarded because the guy who Toriyama named him Beerus as in beer because that's how he likes to name stuff.
Yeah. And then whiskey.
Yeah, they got a naming convention. And it's all confirmed with the other god, destruction gods. But,
I'm glad that he accepts that he's an alcoholic. I wish he was. Yeah.
I don't know if he's an alcoholic. Maybe that's why his memory is not so great anymore.
Yes! He forgets everything about his own works. When he came back to make Battle of Gods, when he drew Android 18, he drew her with purple hair.
That's amazing. I can't imagine being like someone who's gonna work with Toriyama on a new project, and you're a huge fan of his work and have been for years, and it's defined your career. And he comes in and he's like, "Okay, so, what are you guys working on?" He's like, "Well, Mr. Toriyama, we were trying to think of a new outfit for Android 18, who." And there happened to be that guy's favorite character. He's like, "Oh, well, I had this idea," and then he starts to draw Android 18, and the face is all wrong, and she's got purple hair. I think I can understand how that could be tough, because they work so hard on it for like a short amount of time, and then at some point, when they move on, it's not like they're still thinking about that. They're working just as hard, but on new stuff.
Yeah.
So it might be easy to forget what you had done before. Like, when he was actually drawing Launch in the manga, it was probably like, when would have been the last time? Like in the 80s, 90s?
Yeah, something. Because it became... it was still Dragon Ball, but it became the Z story in the early 90s, probably late 80s.
Mm-hmm. Well, once it became Z, Launch was out of the comic.
She disappeared.
Well, she was a side character that people love and are pissed at him for forgetting, but I can understand why he would forget her. She had a funny gimmick, but she wasn't important. And Goku literally found her on the streets. She just happened to live in the Kami house for a little bit. She was a gag character.
She was.
It's not like he forgot Bulma.
Yeah. That would be insane. If he forgot a character, one of the beginning characters of the series that he made.
I could forgive him if he forgot Chaozu. Come on, Christopher.
I have forgiven him because he has forgotten about Chaozu.
When's the last time we saw Chaozu?
I don't know. Like,
holy crap, was Chaozu in Super?
I want to say he was with Tien.
No, he wasn't. He would have been with like Oolong and those characters.
Okay, so then maybe he was there when Master Roshi felt up Poir in the shed, and they let it happen.
They made it happen. Who do you think talks to Mathis?
I have no idea. I'm going to guess...
Seda? She seems to be able to talk to everybody.
Maybe that's her role in the story. To be
I feel like she's more the main character than Marth is. Don't you?
Marth is like... He's the king in chess, and then Seda's like the queen. The king is necessary to win the game. The queen can do all the cool things.
But I don't feel like he has a character or motivations or anything like that. Like, is he a prince or something?
He is the prince of the land, and, I mean, at this point, he hasn't discovered what's actually going to happen. At this point, people are just asking him to do things, and he's just doing it.
I can see how that would go poorly in a story. Put him in the fortress. Don't attack Mathis.
Which one's Mathis?
I don't know. I don't know if you can tell on the map.
That one's Mathis.
Kill everyone but him so that Seda can go over and talk to him. Oh, okay.
Nope.
Has to be someone else. Maybe if Marth finally gets his chance.
Go, Abel. Nope.
Why would Abel talk to him?
I don't know, because he's a writer too.
It would only be one of the... Unless he has a thing. Like, I think any woman could have talked to Navarre. It's Marth, Seda... Maybe Lena? But Marth or Seda are the safe bets. So if it's not Seda, maybe Marth. Just kill them, and then have Marth come over.
And now Jagan will come in and he will kill. I wonder how much Seda can do to these guys.
She's gonna get killed if you take her over there.
It's okay, I made a bookmark.
I always hate the Pegasus Knights because they feel so situational. It's really easy for them to get stuck alone and then ganged up on. Or if an archer even looks at them wrong, they're dead.
That's true. Because, like, in playing Awakening, I've noticed, like, any bow can destroy a Pegasus Knight, whereas there are certain weapons that can do things to others, like mounted units or knights. But then just any old bow can take down a flying unit, no problem. So, I mean, Sumiya in every playthrough I've done has just become an absolute destroyer. So all I need to do is make sure she's nowhere near archers, and then she sweeps entire fields.
Sumiya is Crom's girlfriend, right?
Well, canon, not to me.
Lucina looks just like her, though.
Well, yes, because that's canon. It's in the opening video for the game that Sumiya and Crom are there holding baby Lucina.
I know, but Sumiya is just the wet nurse in your world.
She's not even a wet nurse. She's out on the fields. We left Lucina with, I don't know, traders.
Who do you get Crom with?
I don't know. In the current playthrough I'm doing, I had him get with Olivia, which is actually a really difficult thing to do. Crom has to have 0 affinity with any other woman.
That's crazy. Who's Olivia?
Olivia's the dancer. She comes in during that fight where you're taking down the Mad King.
You made it all that way and he had no affinity with any woman?
Yeah, it's hard.
That's crazy.
But I did it.
So that's something you were trying to do?
Yes.
Just throw him out there as a buffer, Christopher, and then have Marth run in. Because they're going to attack and you're going to do some damage to him. It don't matter. We want to see if Marth can talk to Mathis.
So, in addition to Crom has to have no affinity with any woman, he also has to get 8 points affinity with Olivia during the fight. Otherwise, he's going to end up with just some random village girl.
What?
Yeah. So you have to get Crom into 8 fights with Olivia, or have her dance 8 times for him in that fight. And it's hard because everybody's aggro on you.
Is that the last fight before the time skip?
Yes.
That's crazy. So you really have to work for that.
Yeah.
That makes no sense story-wise, Christopher.
What do you mean makes no sense?
They would meet like that day.
Yeah, they did.
and then fall in love on the battlefield. That is weird. It's weird to think that Olivia could be Lucina's mom.
Welcome to the convoy.
The only woman character who can't be Lucina's mom is Crom's sister, right?
No, there are definitely others that Crom would meet before and then can't get with. Like Cordelia, the character who straight up has the most amazing crush on Crom, just like Sumia, but she can't become his wife.
Why? Are there certain reasons?
No.
Or their friendship link can't get that high?
No, she can't build any support with him.
Why?
She's not on the list. I don't know why the developers made that choice. They just sort of did.
Remind me who Cordelia is.
Red-haired, like, genius. She got the white suit of armor.
White suit of armor.
Pegasus Knight.
Hmm.
Where have you gone? Oh,
Lena, where have you gone? He wants to talk to Lena.
Okay.
You know, I was gonna say maybe Lena can talk to him.
Fucking Mark, don't kill him.
No, Martha's gonna murder this dude on the battlefield. Where's Lena?
She's all the way back at the convoy. I wasn't thinking about that. I wanted her to get the mend.
You're a fool. Because he's gonna die now.
Bye, Seda.
What?
Seda died.
I can't believe you can continue with Seda dead. It feels like she's so important.
She probably is.
Especially because she's in freaking Tokyo Mirage Sessions. As like one of the main characters.
I mean, I let Kane die.
That's true. Kane died too. It feels like Kane doesn't do anything. How is Kane important? Maybe there are characters who talk to Kane.
Well, Lena can't reach him. Sorry, Mathis, you're gonna die. I mean, I don't care. I would take back letting Seda die, but if we're not gonna, I just want to get through this. I want to see how this fight goes. Mathis was dead.
I know, there are certain... I can see it. With how many characters there are in this game, I could see being able to move on with some deaths. Like, we didn't really lose anything with Kane dying. But there are certain characters who, if they died, I probably would start over. Like, Seda is probably one for me. I wouldn't give a shit if Gordon died. Draug too, he can die. Marth has to stay alive.
Yeah, you get a game over if Marth dies. He's Crom. And Robin. That also sucks. I don't like that.
That you have to have Robin and Crom alive?
Yeah, and I mean, Crom is necessary in every fight. Sure, you can take Robin out, but then you'll have fights where both Crom and Robin are necessary. And, I get it. Robin is you, and then Crom is necessary to the story. But then when they're both in the fight, and if either one of them dies, it's game over. That's just two huge targets.
Yeah, I guess. I never had too much trouble with that. But I never liked Robin. They're not that interesting. As far as I'm concerned, they're just there to have babies with Tharja. Can Tharja get with Crom? No, huh?
No. That's another one. I think there's only like 6. There's Sumia, Maribel, Olivia, Sully. No, that's it. 4.
That's really low, considering. It always feels like there are so many possible relationships you can have, but...
There's so many for every other character.
That's true.
Just not Crom for whatever reason.
I guess because you have to know... I don't know. I don't know why you would have to know who Lucina's mom is. that early. Aside from there's like a throwaway line where she's like, "Oh, and you're my mother."
What do you mean throwaway line? That's a literal scene. That's a scene.
But it's not as important as Crom being her father.
Why is that not as important?
Because Crom being her father is like a main story element. If it mattered who her mother was, you wouldn't even be able to pick.
But then that takes... But then you can just create you can create something there.
So out of the 4 people you can pick, who do you prefer Crom to be with?
Like...
Because those are weird choices. Sumiya makes the most sense.
I make the most preference towards Sumiya. It's just that I've already done that before. I wanted to do something else. And when I figured out that Olivia was that difficult to do, I went with it.
It's weird. But I kind of like it. I guess I never cared who Crom ended up with. Well, wait a minute. Crom can end up with Robin, though. If you do female Robin.
Yeah, well then I guess there's 5. Yeah. But that's dependent on you being female.
I usually am female. Well, that depends. Because I don't like Robin, but I like the Tharja-Robin relationship. So that's the benefit of being a male, I guess.
Yeah.
But then, I prefer female Robin's design to male Robin. I don't know, I guess I could go either way. And then if I'm female Robin, then they usually end up with Crom. Because it happens. Because I usually have Robin and Crom next to each other all the time.
Also, there's like 3 interesting guys in the whole game.
What do you mean?
Like Crom, and then Longku, my boy.
I guess we have different ideas of what are interesting. Because I think Frederick's interesting.
He sort of disappears from the story, though.
Yeah. Well, so does Crom's sister. What's her face?
Alicia.
Yeah, which is a shame. Especially considering they witnessed their other mutual sister. I guess I don't have to say mutual. Fall off that spire.
That's awesome, though.
It is awesome.
I love that scene.
I like it too, because I don't like their sister.
You're horrible. That scene's sad, that's why it's good.
I don't know.
It's like because she's trying to make a point, and then you find out that she does get the point across.
What point does she get across?
That there's no reason to fight, that we should be at peace, and the king wants war, a senseless war. And she gets that across to the people. They start deserting the king en masse.
I guess I don't understand the story in Fire Emblem Awakening. I just care about the character interactions and the strategy element.
Do you also not get that Crom has to become something he inevitably tries to destroy?
Well, I figured. Isn't Robin the same?
Yeah, I guess in a way. But, I mean, that's purely because the villain is just yourself. But in a different timeline.
That's funny.
Jay can attack the big boy.
I like Robin's kids. No, and the Robin doesn't have kids unless you're with Crom, which is also another reason I like that relationship. Because then Lucina has a brother.
Robin has a daughter. The male Robin gets a daughter.
Female Robin gets a son.
Okay. What's your point? You said Robin only gets... You're saying things, sir.
No, because you realized what I said makes sense in certain situations.
What? No. All you said was that Robin has a kid, and then you write, no, female Robin has a son. You didn't mention that. You sort of glossed over the fact that male Robin does have a daughter.
I started to say that I don't like Robin the character, but I like his kids. But then I remembered I like his kids because usually one of his kids is Lucina and the other one is the boy, Little Robin, Robin Jr. But that situation could only occur if Robin were female. If Robin is male, Lucina and that character are not brother and sister. In fact, I think... Are they not a little girl then? I don't know. I don't play Awakening as much as you do.
Well, male Robin gets a daughter. And
Who
then,
is?
yes, the name is Morgan.
See? Well... That's because you always play male Robin. I play female Robin, and he has a daughter. He has a son, and she has a son named Morgan.
Yeah. But
Who oftentimes in my playthroughs is Lucina's little brother, and she'll have like dialogue for that too, which is actually cool. Because I'm imagining there wouldn't be that dialogue if they weren't brother and sister.
so you like Lucina's interaction with her sibling?
Yes, well, what I was saying was I like Robin's kids, but it's not always the case that Robin has two kids, and because one of those kids is usually Lucina in my playthrough.
Yeah, so that's your typical.
Lucina's great, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and Lucina's interaction with her sibling is the same no matter who the sibling is.
Yeah. Because I guess that's true. They probably could have, like... Who else could be their sibling?
Inigo, who's Olivia's son. Cynthia, who's Sumia's daughter. Brady, who's Maribel's son. Or Shell, who's Sully's daughter.
So Lucina always has a sibling, I guess.
Yes.
In my case, it's usually Morgan. Who I think might be called Morgan when they're a boy.
Yes. It's the same concept as Robin. It's a technically gender-neutral name.
Yeah.
Morgan, I would say less so because I definitely don't know any male Morgans.
Awakening is real cool. I never knew there were... Oh man, they just destroyed that house. I never knew there were so many possible combinations for stuff like that. That sounds so interesting. I wish I could see more of like Lucina's interactions with other potential siblings. Because I like her interactions with Morgan.
No, they're the same.
Really?
It's the same scene that plays out. It's just swapping in a character.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's disappointing to say so, but that's the limit. Because it would be great if
there were unique dialogue for every possible combination.
If she could like make advantage of a conversation with Inigo, who's a super puss hound, and like she like has a conversation of him about that kind of stuff, but she doesn't because they didn't write unique dialogue for every possible pairing. They did so many dialogue options. It's just that it's a lot already, and they ultimately would have to cut corners somewhere.
I wish they did more. I hope they do something like that again. Because that was the best part of Awakening. The developing relationships between characters and then having those relationships kind of manifest in different characters. is very interesting. Or at least potentially is. Because the characters are kind of the same, no, the kid characters are kind of the same no matter who the parents are, in most cases, but... it would be way cooler if there were like a little more specificity to that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Maybe someday they could do that. Maybe not. They kind of moved away from that in all the other Fire Emblem games.
I would love it if they remade Awakening and made it like Three Houses. To me, that would be an amazing game. And then added more to it.
You mean just in the engine?
Yeah, using the engine.
I wouldn't care how it came out looking like, even if it was just like very similar to the original Awakening, but they just added a bunch of dialogue and new scenarios. That would make it worth it for me. Don't you agree?
Yes. If they could do more, like, if they could make it that every woman you meet before the time skip, Chrom can marry, and as such, any of them could be Lucina's mother.
Yeah, and characters can have different dialogue depending on who their parents are. Or different interactions between themselves. I don't know. When you think about it in that sense, it's potentially endless combinations, and that could be, like, impossible to do.
Yeah. That would be a lot of work, but, I mean...
But one little thing, even if they kept it, like, Chrom only had the 5 people he could get with, right?
Yeah.
It would be nice for Lucina to have unique dialogue for each of her potential siblings, right? And for them to have a unique relationship.
Yeah. I feel like, yes, it's a lot, but also, you haven't played the Fates games, and in the version that is, you essentially pick both kingdoms, you have dialogue between each character, like literally crossing characters. Each game, each characters who would not normally meet, interacting. You have support conversations of that. That was like an insane amount of dialogue. So I feel like they are capable of that sort of workload. It's just that it would take a while to do that. Because the Revelation, the 3rd version, came out like a year after the first 2 versions.
Might also have to do with the money situation between Awakening and the other Fire Emblem games. Because Awakening was the first Fire Emblem game that blew up in popularity, and they probably made a shit ton of money on it.
Yeah.
So before that, they probably didn't have as many resources available to them.
I mean, before that, they were going to go bankrupt if Fire Emblem Awakening didn't make it.
Well, thank God that it did, and it was a huge success, because it feels like we have, like, Fire Emblem games almost every year. Well, they've kind of slowed down on that. Three Houses has been a big success, I think. Heck, it's in freaking Smash. Well, every Fire Emblem character is in Smash now.
No. Yes, but no.
I still kind of wish they had, like, the 3 house leaders in Smash. And they were like the Pokemon. And you could just switch out between them. Wouldn't that be better?
That would be awesome.
That would be an awesome character. That should have been the 3 Houses character, I think, but whatever.
I'm sure the idea crossed Sakurai's mind, but then he looked at his frail, decaying hands, how one finger is turning to dust, and then he thought, maybe I should do something that lightens the workload. Because that poor Sakurai, he's been working non-stop for like 2 or 3 years.
I can't make 28 new Smash characters and play Kid Icarus 6 hours a day. I'm gonna have to cut it down to like 14 new Smash characters and play Kid Icarus 6 hours a day. to wear down the tendons in my wrists. That poor guy.
No, it's Persona 5. Because he wrote an article about how he had been playing 100 hours of Persona 5 and still didn't beat the game.
That man's amazing. I love Sakurai. He just loves video games. And is a horrible workaholic. I hope he doesn't die in his office someday. That would be a shame.
That'd be where it would happen, and Nintendo would still... They would just swap him out for somebody, and then they would have them working on Smash 24 hours a day.
I can't shake the feeling that once he stops making Smash, Smash will become terrible.
Oh, it will, because, like, who's going to take it is the question.
No one could pour as much time as he does into it.
Nobody could pour as much heart as he does.
I know, I can't wait. Well, then I can't wait for the article to come out where Sakurai's played like 400 hours of Halo 3. And he's like, I needed to have Master Chief in this game.
He's probably working on something. He's probably playing on both on the PS5 and the Series X at the same time on his 2 TVs in his living room.
He's gonna make an appearance at Fortnite.
Okay, well that would be the best crossover though. Crossover with Smash, but they put the developer in and not any character. Have you seen some of the tweets? I've sent you like 2 tweets that he's done in like the past week or something.
Were those real?
Those were real tweets from the actual from Sakurai's actual Twitter.
Weren't they in English?
They were in English. They were translated though.
Okay. Well, how accurate is the translation?
I don't know.
Yeah. What were they? Remind me.
Okay, so the first one was he was teasing the Melee community. He was saying, "Alright, you've asked for it, we're gonna do it. Melee is coming in as DLC for Smash Ultimate."
But that wasn't real.
No, it wasn't real.
The tweet was real, but the Melee is not going to be DLC in Smash.
No. I would like that, but also, he was just trying to tilt the Melee community.
He hates them. Which I don't disparage him for, because it turns out that the Melee community has a huge dark side to it. That had been undercovered recently, but whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's also kind of a really toxic and shitty community in general.
I just think they're annoying.
Well, they've been playing the same game for the past 20 years.
Yes. Like get over it. I know Brawl sucked, but come on, Smash 4 Ultimate, there's better games now. Like, not to mention, you talk about a competitive game. There's frickin' 3 usable characters in Melee.
That is funny. I don't know. But I also do like actually watching Melee. Competitive Melee is more fun to me than any other competitive Smash game. They've got it down to a science.
Do you think it was rude or mean of Nintendo to take down that Smash competition, Melee competition, because they were using an emulator?
No. And Nintendo can be really weird with stuff like that all the time, but the reason they cited was that they were using an emulator?
Yes.
No, I don't disagree with that. I actually think that if you're gonna have something like a tournament in that capacity, you should use actual hardware.
But they would need like 32 GameCubes, and they would either need their people to bring them in, or, you know, whatever. Like, it just takes a lot of GameCubes to be in the room at the time.
Are there not 32 GameCubes in the world?
No, I'm saying it's fine, but I don't imagine that the staff of that competition was even 32 people. They would have to go out and find those GameCubes.
What kind of competition is this? A lot of tournaments had the people bring their own hardware to the tournament.
Well, the reality is Nintendo is actively trying to stomp them out, so there's nothing backing them. As far as a Melee competition goes, it was pretty big for one, but that's not saying much. It was still technically a small competition.
There's no technical about it. As far as I'm concerned, tournaments on that scale should be using real hardware. In fact, I think any actual, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Any tournament that's legit should be using actual hardware. There's too many variables with like an emulator and anything like that.
But they didn't have the money for it. They didn't have the resources.
Then they shouldn't have the tournament.
But
or it should be a friendly tournament.
But Nintendo outright closed them down, even though Nintendo had no jurisdiction on that. What they did was they sent a cease and desist.
Well, if they had no grounds to stand on, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Christopher.
They just wanted to have a Melee tournament.
Then they
but they didn't have
it.
They don't have the money or the GameCubes necessary for it. Not to mention 32 copies of Smash Melee. It's just that they didn't have the resources. And in a time of COVID, where they can't just go anywhere, it was just a matter of they didn't have the resources, and they couldn't go get them.
I don't know what to tell you, Christopher. I don't know every minute detail of this situation. As far as I'm concerned, and I don't know all of this for sure, if they were having a legit tournament with like rewards and money and advertising and all this stuff, they should be doing two things. They should be using the real hardware, and they should be compliant with Nintendo's what's the word? If they should be using real hardware, and if Nintendo wanted them to use real hardware and would okay it if they did, they should fall in line with that. Because it sounds like Nintendo has the whatever. They're legally in the right to do that. To send a cease and desist. If they can't hold the tournament, they just can't hold the tournament.
What about the official...
Sounds like they don't have the means and they don't have the permission to do it.
But they just wanted to have a tournament.
Then they should have a friendly tournament.
And there was a means. They could just use the emulator.
Then here's what they should do. They should do that, but they shouldn't call it legit or anything like that. It should be a friendly competition. If they want to do it for fun, do it for fun. Okay,
so you're saying Nintendo could put up a legit competition. What about the Splatoon tournament that had a prize pool of $25? Official Nintendo tournament.
That is ridiculous, Christopher. What is the point of the argument you're trying to make here?
That Nintendo isn't putting up their own competitions. Somebody just wanted to have their own competition.
Okay, Christopher, we're going into territory that I don't know that we should go into. The fact that Nintendo doesn't want there to be a competitive scene for their games at all is their personal company policy, and they have a right to hold that position. Now, I love Nintendo games, and I like competitions involving them. I think Splatoon competitions are cool that aren't necessarily, I guess, sanctioned by Nintendo or whatever. What's the word? Just because Nintendo's not involved. I mean, I don't care if Nintendo's involved in a tournament. They should just hold it. But if they're gonna have like a legit tournament with like money prizes and all that, they need to follow legal guidelines, or they're taking on like personal responsibility and fallout that I don't know is worth it.
So, you're saying they should follow regulations, yet it's Nintendo's right to not have any regulations.
Nintendo, what are you talking about? Just because the prize... Hold on, Christopher. Just because the prize pool sucked doesn't mean that the tournament wasn't regulated. Or up to code or anything like that. If there even is a code, I don't know. We're talking about, like, do they have the right to emulate this game and make money off of doing that? The people who were trying to hold this tournament. They don't. I mean, as far as I know, Nintendo can use an emulator all they want because they own the rights to the stuff that they own, obviously. You obviously have been hurt by this.
I think
the canceling of this tournament.
Because the problem just lies within what the hell is the problem. Nintendo doesn't care.
But what's wrong with that?
Nintendo doesn't want to have a competitive scene, but that's not fair to actual players who want to play competitively.
Christopher, it sucks. And that's actually, I mean, I agree, it's a stupid position to be held by Nintendo. But it's their position. I don't know what to tell you. They don't want a competitive scene for their games. As far as I'm concerned...
Smash Ultimate wouldn't be the way that it is if Sakurai didn't want a competitive scene for it. There are many things about it that make it an actually competitive game, and yet Nintendo...
I disagree.
So Nintendo doesn't want that.
I think he caved into the competitive scene that was already there. The many complaints that were like, this needs to be balanced and all that. He doesn't care. It's a party game for him. You're supposed to play it with your friends and family and have fun. Kids are supposed to play Smash with each other when they get home from school. He doesn't give a shit about a competitive scene. That's why he taunts them like he does, Christopher.
He taunts the Melee community.
But he doesn't like the competitive scene in general, Christopher. The Melee community is just the biggest, most toxic Smash community.
He just wants players to play the game that it's meant to be played. And if he makes it more competitive, then that's one way for it to be played.
That's his personal opinion, and he's free to have it. And you're free to have yours. And anyone who plays Smash competitively can and is allowed to do that.
But they're not allowed. Nintendo's stopping them. Just because they couldn't get the hardware, and then they just wanted to do it.
Christopher, shut the fuck up.
But they just couldn't have the hardware.
There's Smash tournaments probably almost every week of every year.
Yeah.
Just because this one got canceled because they wanted to emulate the shit doesn't matter. They should have had hardware.
But that's not fair.
Then I don't know what they just about fair.
They just wanted to play the game.
That if they have one GameCube, they should have like an 8-person tournament.
That'll take too long. That's not a good tournament. 8 people.
Well, then start a GoFundMe. I don't know what to tell you. This is one tournament that got canceled.
They also canceled their own Splatoon tournament just because that tournament got canceled.
I don't know what you're talking about. Isn't the pandemic still going on?
Yeah? Well, it was an online Splatoon competition. And then they canceled it because one of the teams wore a free Melee t-shirt. And then they were like, okay, tournament's canceled.
That's just funny.
I don't think they... I'm sure they didn't mind. They wanted to play, but also it was for $25.
I know, well...
In-store credit.
It's a weird situation, Christopher. There's obviously a huge competitive Nintendo scene in general, but Nintendo has no love for them, and they just have to realize that. This was probably the closest we had ever come to like Nintendo embracing those communities. But who knows? Maybe that'll stop now.
I miss Reggie. Reggie never did anything like that.
I don't know. I love Reggie, but he probably didn't give a crap either. Nintendo doesn't need competitive scenes. They're a company that makes games for kids and man-children who want to have competitive communities around them. And as far as they're concerned, they could probably drop one of those.
When are we going to get a PS5?
As soon as you buy one. I don't know that I'm gonna shell the money out for one. I don't play video games too much anymore. It has to be something special that I want to play. Like Persona I want to play. But I also need to have like the time and the patience to do it. Sometimes they're just like sinkholes. I don't know what else I want to play. There was tons of stuff I saw at the Game Awards. I was like, ooh, I would like to try that out.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing comes to mind now. I should probably just play more indie games, because they seem to be more my style nowadays.
Okay. I feel like indie games are extremely hit or miss to me.
Yeah. Enter the Gungeon is one of my favorite games probably in the last 2 years. Shovel Knight was amazing. Probably that might be my favorite video game experience the past 5 or 6 years. There are some that I don't know. I just like them. They just feel more my speed. AAA games are getting to the point where they're almost like blockbuster movies became, you know? They're more like experiences.
It's like you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Maybe. Like, I already get a sense for what kind of game Last of Us 2 is, and I loved Ghost of Tsushima, but it was also kind of like, you knew what you were getting. Or Red Dead 2 is the pinnacle of that for me, I think. It's like every other AAA game, but it was like perfect.
Look,
what?
I will say this. At the end of the day, I think we can all agree that Among Us completely deserved to be in the 2020 Game Awards.
I know you were butthurt about that, Christopher, but I actually agree. I think it should have been there. Because it popped off in 2020.
So that's what matters. When a game gets popular is what matters.
They also,
Do you know what award it could have won? Best Ongoing Game. It wasn't even nominated for that. That's a category for a game that currently exists. That was just released a while ago.
Among Us is not an ongoing game. They released it 2 years ago, and then they added a map, like, this year. Like I said, it blew up just a few months ago.
It doesn't make sense to me. Because then what's
The people who made it made the Henry Stickmin anthology. You should play those, and then you'll get a sense of what kind of game company they are. It's just how it happened to be, and it's awesome that they won that, Christopher. They won those awards. It's a testament to the kind of game that they made. It's so fun, and although it's so simple. And I'm happy for them, because I love the Henry Stickmin anthology. And Among Us is really fun. I don't care. I think it's cool that they won. I would rather they win now than never get any recognition for it. Like what, you're mad that they won Mobile Game of the Year?
I'm mad that they were nominated in 2020. The game was released in 2018.
Stop being so salty.
Why was it nominated in 2020?
Because it could be.
So we're just going based on clout?
Why aren't you this mad about Content Creator of the Year? Those people didn't start making content in the year 2020.
Valkyrie, the winner, did.
Well, that's probably why they rigged it for her, Christopher. I don't know. I don't think they rigged it for her.
I think it's more likely she started this year and then happened to win for this year.
Though, if I'm being completely honest, if I was in charge of the Game Awards, I would have it so that, you know how they did that? Oh, here's who the people think is gonna win. Content Creator of the Year at 44%, Valkyrie. I would have just waited for those results to come in, and then I would have been like, okay, so we'll give the award to whoever won that.
How do you know they didn't? Because that's essentially what happened. They say that Twitch always predicts the winner, and then they do? How is that they always predict the winner? Maybe they're just making it up on the spot.
Now that's a conspiracy for you, I guess. But it's only a conspiracy, because it's statistically feasible that it happened. Just because it's unlikely doesn't mean it's impossible. And for all we know, next year Twitch won't. And I don't know that Twitch has. I guess if it's true, it might. If that's the case, I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't care. Like I said, that's how I would do it. No one gives a crap about Content Creator of the Year. I didn't recognize any of those people. Except for, what's-her-face? Alana.
You are peaceful people.
The Funhouse girl.
Thanks to his dark influence, many mages have now allied themselves with Dolhir. The strength of your voice...
Ganondorf's ambitions are too high, Christopher.
That was cool. That's a character who could talk to Marth, and then instead of me talking to him, he talked to me. Now he is my friend.
That is cool. Wendell.
That's about what we're gonna call it for today.
I guess this is the last you'll ever see of Fire Emblem.
Yeah, well...
Pod in the chat.
I was trying to get Marth killed, and it didn't work, so...
That's a good spot to end it. As good as any. Stay butthurt, Christopher. Among Us is the mobile game of the year.
Among Us is the mobile game of the year, 2018. If it were really so good, it would have won in 2018.
No one played it in 2018.
Then maybe it's not that good after all.
The most popular game in the world right now.
Because we wanted something to kill Fortnite, and it did.
No, it's not bigger than Fortnite. Shut up, Christopher.